The fabric of truth. In the ancient town of Oyo, cradled by the lush embrace of the Yoruba hills and whispered legends, there lived a gifted young weaver named Akinwale. Known for his nimble fingers and soulful artistry, he crafted cloths that were said to carry the wisdom of generations. Among these creations was his masterpiece, a tapestry known as the fabric of truth. This cloth, woven with threads of destiny and secrets, was believed to reveal the hidden truths of the heart when the night was at its darkest. One radiant morning, as the market bustled with traders and laughter, Akinwale's eyes met those of Adébola, a luminous young woman whose beauty was as striking as the dawn. Adébola, daughter of the revered chief Olumide, was as gentle as she was strong-willed. Despite the towering traditions that bound her family, a secret yearning pulsed within her soul, a longing for a love that transcended the rigid lines of caste and expectation. Their meeting was like the gentle clash of two fated streams, unexpected yet inevitable. In stolen glances and hushed whispers, Akinwale and Adébola discovered a shared desire to unearth a truth buried beneath layers of inherited prejudice and old rivalries. Yet, their union was forbidden. The stark divide between the humble origins of the gifted weaver and the noble lineage of Adébola was a chasm deepened by centuries of custom and mistrust. Amidst their burgeoning love, a shadow loomed. Ireti, a cunning and envious cousin of Adébola, harbored a bitterness that festered behind a mask of gentle smiles. Craving the power and privilege that Adébola's status brought, Ireti wove a web of deceit. She whispered poison into the ears of elders and kin, fabricating tales that Akinwale had made secret pacts with the dark gods, promising forbidden rituals for personal gain. As this lies spread, a chill of distrust crept into the hearts of even the most steadfast believers in tradition. Unaware of the treachery, one moonlit night, Akinwale led Adébola to the sacred grove of Osun, where the silver light of the full moon danced upon ancient stones. Beneath the towering Iroko tree, the silent sentinel of the past, he unveiled the fabric of truth. Its patterns shimmered with a mysterious light, as if echoing the heartbeat of the earth. Akinwale explained that this tapestry was no ordinary cloth, it was a relic of destiny, entrusted to his family for generations. It was said that only when true love embraced truth could the tapestry reveal its prophecy, a union so powerful it could bridge the chasms of enmity and heal the deepest wounds. Moved by the raw honesty in his voice and the divine glow of the tapestry, Adébola vowed to defy the chains of tradition. However, fate's path was strewn with trials. The revelation of their secret meetings soon reached the ears of Chief Olumide. Consumed by a mix of paternal love and the weight of honor, Olumide decreed that Adébola must be wed to a wealthy suitor from a distant kingdom, a union designed to reinforce old alliances and preserve the sanctity of his lineage. Heartbroken but determined, Adébola and Akinwale resolved to challenge destiny itself. They embarked on a perilous journey through the dense forests and winding paths of the Yoruba lands, seeking counsel from the wise Babalawos and the sacred oracles. With every step, the tapestry's whispered secrets guided them, urging them to uncover the layers of deception that had splintered their world. As tensions escalated, the heavens themselves seemed to weep for the lovers. A furious storm tore across Oyo, as thunder roared like ancestral voices. In the midst of the tempest, the fabric of truth began to glow with a brilliant luminescence, its woven symbols coming alive. The divine light exposed Ireti's treachery, dissolving her web of lies in the cleansing rain. The people, once blinded by suspicion, saw with clear eyes the machinations of envy and deceit. In the aftermath, the community gathered at the revered shrine of Eye with grief. There, beneath a sky slowly clearing into starlit serenity, Chief Olumide, his heart softened by the undeniable truth, embraced Akinwale. In that poignant moment, the forbidden love was transformed into a beacon of unity, an emblem of reconciliation that transcended old divisions. From that day forward, the legacy of Akinwale and Adébola was etched into the very soul of Oyo. Their story became a living tapestry, a reminder that even in a world woven with ancient customs and painful betrayals, the threads of truth, love, and forgiveness have the power to mend the broken and transform destinies. The storm had passed, but its echo still lingered in the hearts of those who had witnessed the revelation of the fabric of truth. In the days that followed, the people of Oyo spoke of nothing else. The elders marveled at the divine intervention, and the young whispered about the power of love that had defied even the strongest traditions. Chief Olumide, once rigid in his beliefs, found himself at war with his own conscience. He had seen the fabric glow, had heard the voices of the ancestors in the thunder, and had felt the weight of his daughter's tears against his chest when she begged for his blessing. He could not deny what had happened. The truth had revealed itself in ways no man could explain, and to ignore it would be to dishonor the gods themselves. But Iriti was not finished. Humiliated and desperate, she sought out the one man who had long lurked in the shadows, waiting for a moment of weakness, Balogun Adigun, the war chief of Oyo. Adigun had long coveted the power of Chief Olumide's family and had once hoped to take Adébola as his wife, knowing it would secure his influence. Now, with the scandal of the forbidden love affair, he saw an opportunity. Under the cover of darkness, Iriti met him in a secluded grove, her face shrouded in a veil. The people may have been fooled by their so-called fabric of truth, she hissed, but power still bends to those who wield it wisely. Adigun's face remained unreadable as he listened. "What do you propose?" he asked finally. "Destroy Akinwale," she said without hesitation. "Remove him from the land, and Adébola will have no choice but to marry the suitor from the foreign kingdom. My name will be restored, and you will be one step closer to taking Chief Olumide's seat." A slow, calculating smile spread across Adigun's lips. "Consider it done." That night, Akinwale sat in his workshop, weaving with steady hands. He knew the storm was far from over. Though Chief Olumide had softened, the battle for acceptance was not yet won. The whispers of the people still lingered, some in awe, others in suspicion. He had fought for love, but love alone was not enough. He needed to prove that he was worthy, not just in Adébola's eyes, but in the eyes of a kingdom that had spent centuries believing that status defined a man's worth. He was deep in thought when a noise outside drew his attention. The night was unnaturally quiet. Even the crickets, who usually sang to the moon, had fallen silent. A chill ran down his spine. Then came the sound of feet, many feet. Akinwale barely had time to rise before the door to his workshop burst open. Adigun's men flooded in, their faces shadowed by the flickering light of their torches. "You dare disrupt the order of our land," Adigun's voice rang out coldly. "You think a weaver can rewrite destiny?" Akinwale's fist clenched, but he did not move. He knew fighting back would only make him a criminal in the eyes of the kingdom. "You have been judged unworthy, Akinwale," Adigun continued. "By decree of the council, you are to be exiled at dawn. If you are seen within the borders of Oyo after sunrise, your blood will be the price." The guards seized him before he could react, binding his hands with rough rope. He struggled, but their grip was like iron. As they dragged him away, his heart pounded with one thought: Adébola. Would she ever know what happened to him? Adébola had not been asleep when she heard the commotion. Something in the wind had unsettled her, and she had been pacing in her chambers when the distant shouts reached her ears. She ran to the window, her pulse racing. Then she saw them. Torches bobbing in the darkness, figures moving swiftly toward the palace gates. And in their midst, Akinwale. Her breath caught. No. She didn't wait to think. She didn't stop to consider what was proper or what was wise. She grabbed her cloak, flung open her door, and ran. The palace guards called after her, but she did not stop. She ran past the market square, past the sacred grove, past the watching eyes of the gods themselves. She ran until she reached the city gates, just as they were about to close. "Akinwale," she screamed. He turned, his eyes filled with shock and pain. "Adébola." She fought against the guards, but they held her back. "You cannot take him," she cried. "This is unjust." Adégon stepped forward, his expression smug. "You disgrace yourself, Adébola," he said. "Your father has agreed to his exile. You have no power here." But then, another voice rang out. "Who dares speak on my behalf?" The crowd parted as Chief Olumide strode into the clearing, his royal robe billowing in the wind. His eyes swept over the scene before locking onto Akinwale. "Tell me," the chief said slowly, "on what charge do you exile this man?" Adégon hesitated. "He has disrupted the order of our land. He has loved my daughter." Olumide cut in. "Defied tradition." His voice grew harder. "Tell me, Adégon, when did love become a crime?" Silence fell. Even the night seemed to hold its breath. Olumide turned to Akinwale. "You wove the fabric of truth," he said. "Now tell me, young man, what truth do you seek?" Akinwale met his gaze with unwavering eyes. "I seek only what the gods have revealed," he said. "A love that is pure, untainted by deception or status. A love that deserves to be given a chance." The chief's eyes flickered to his daughter, to the way she looked at Akinwale, her soul laid bare. And then, he turned to the people. "What say you?" he called. "Shall we uphold traditions that serve only to divide us? Or shall we embrace a new truth, one woven not by the hands of men, but by the will of the gods?" Murmurs rippled through the crowd. The elders whispered among themselves. Then, one by one, voices rose, some hesitant, some bold. "The gods have spoken. The tapestry does not lie." And then, like the breaking of dawn, a chant began to rise. "Let them be Wednesday." Adégon's face darkened with fury, but he could do nothing. The people had spoken. Chief Olumide had spoken. And the gods, through the shimmering threads of the fabric of truth, had spoken. That night, beneath the light of a full moon, Akinwale and Adébola stood before the sacred grove of Osun, their hands entwined. The people gathered, their hearts open, their traditions forever changed. And as they exchanged vows, the tapestry glowed one final time, its threads weaving a new story. A story of love, of truth, and of destiny fulfilled.